Hey everybody, I just arrived here in Buffalo, New York, and I've got a few hours before I head over to rehearse with the string section. So I thought I'd answer some of your questions that you've been tweeting and posting on Facebook. So let's get into it. Hope everybody's good, by the way. Okay, let's see. Brian Taylor wants to know, will you ever record Dance with My Father on CD? No, I can't imagine I will, Brian. Not that I'm not proud of that song, but Luther Vandross and I wrote that song. That was, I believe, the last song he ever wrote. And he had a stroke about 10 days after he finished recording it. And he passed away about a year later. And I sang it once or twice. I tried singing it a couple times live. And the truth is, it just makes me too sad. Because, Luther and I were really close pals. And he was just the best. He was so... I miss him terribly. So, as much as I'm proud of that song, when I sing that song, it makes me sad, number one. Number two, that was his song. I mean, that song was about his story with his dad. And it lyrically doesn't really resonate with me. My relationship with my dad was completely different, and I've written my own songs about my relationship with my dad, so I can't see me ever recording Dance with My Father. Michael Gross. Richard, do you remember the spinning stage at Oakdale in Connecticut in 1992? Yes. How can you forget? There's a few of those spinning stages, and maybe the most famous one is Westbury Music Fair in New York, and I actually love that venue. I'm not a huge fan of the spinning stage because it doesn't really. It'd be kind of cool if it was like, like an adventure. Like if it was spinning so fast and it was like, can we do the gig and not have the gear go flying off? But it moves literally like this fast. I'm actually probably going a little faster than it actually goes. And I get that, that way everybody gets to see, gets to have a front row view, I guess, or something. But I don't know. I think they're kind of goofy, those in the rounds. But I like Westbury, so there I am, a walking contradiction. Heidi. Hi, Richard. Have you ever had a song stolen by another artist or record company? Excuse me. Yes, I have. Yeah. I can't really talk. Certainly can't tell you who, for legal reasons, but not that long ago, just a couple years ago, there was an artist that completely ripped off one of my hit songs. And if it wasn't just so blatant, I wouldn't have done anything about it. But it was really blatant. It was like, really? And I'm aware, I rip people off all the time, totally by accident. There's only 12 notes. Luckily, though, I bounce all my songs off of a lot of people, so that when I have accidentally stolen something from somebody else, I have any number of people that go, "Wow, flag in the play." That sounds just like that Foo Fighter song. And if I agree that it's too close to it, then I just change it. Um, these people, I don't know how it. I mean, it was really blatant. So they ended up writing a big check to a charity of mine that I support. So all turned out fine, sort of. Still, it's a douchey thing to do. You don't do that. Let's see. Dion Kelly. What's your favorite non-RM penned Keith Urban song? Mine would have to be Till Summer Comes Around. That's Dion's. That's a great song. I love Till Summer Comes Around. What's my favorite non-penned Keith Urban song? I'd have to say Raining on Sunday. I think that's a great song. Lyrically, it just kills me. Go look at the second verse of Raining on Sunday. It's amazing. And it's written by, I believe it was written by Darryl Brown and I'm spacing on the guy's name, but he's a good songwriter. Anyway, Google it. Raining on Sunday. It's a good song. It's a really, really good song. Christy Haggerty. If you could pick any artist, who would be your dream duet partner? Well, any artist, living or dead, I'd have to go with Sam Cooke because he's my favorite singer of all time. But there are a lot of singers around now that I think are really great. Sarah Bareilles certainly comes to mind. I've already proclaimed my love for Sarah's voice, so I would love to sing something with her. But there are a lot of great singers out there. And I went from doing no duets for so many years to doing quite a few, and I really loved singing with Toni Braxton. That was cool. I loved singing with Vince Gill. That's always a blast. So I've had a couple of... Laura Fabian and I did a duet together. That was really fun. So I've had some good duet partners, but I'll go with Sam Cooke, dead. Living, Sarah Bareilles. Jody, what made you decide to travel so much lately? I'm always traveling, Jody. I'm always going somewhere. I have been doing more shows than I had in a while, but I'm just having so much fun doing this acoustic show. And luckily, people want me to come and play. So I'm trying to keep a good balance of being home and being connected to my family. But my kids are older now, so it makes it definitely easier. When my kids were younger and they were still in school, I just didn't want to be away and miss stuff. I missed them too much, and so I did a lot more recording and a lot less traveling. But now my kids, I barely see them. They're off doing their thing, and they're off doing their own thing. I just said that twice. They're off living their own lives. And so, and Cynthia will come out and hang out with me. So I think there's even more travel in my future. Kurt Bergland, I think. Bergland. Hi, Richard. Love your music. Thanks. Bert, I'm Kurt. I'm sleepy. I got up at 5:30 this morning, so sorry. Kurt. Lonely Heart was always a favorite song of mine. Is there a story behind it? Yeah, Lonely Heart was a song from my first album. And I wrote that song originally for Peter Cetera, because Peter Cetera had just gone solo and had maybe a couple of big hits already. And I knew him a little bit. I mostly knew Robert Lamb from Chicago because I sang on the Chicago 17 record. But I knew Peter a little bit. We used to play racquetball together sometimes. And so I wrote that song for him, the music, and I wanted him to write the lyrics with me. And he came over to my apartment and I played it for him and he didn't like it. So that was that. So then I ended up giving the music to Fee Waybill, and Fee wrote the lyrics, and I recorded it on my first album. And it was almost the fifth single. Came that close to being the fifth single, because Hold On to the Nights went to '1. We had Don't Be Nothing, I think, peaked at #3. It was #1 rock track, but #3 on the pop charts. Then Should Know Better went to #3. Endless Summer Nights was #2 behind Man in the Mirror. There was no getting past Man in the Mirror. And then Hold On to the Nights went to #1, and the record company wanted to come with Lonely Heart as a fifth single, and my manager and I went, let's just make a new album. So yeah, that's the story behind Lonely Heart. Wendy Conciliere. I'm going to go with Conciliere. I hope I said that right, Wendy. Why are you so damn hot? Why are you so nearsighted? But you made an old man feel good today. Thank you, Wendy. Dee Dee DJ. Will Richard Marx write a song for Lady Gaga? She doesn't need my help. She's doing great. She's doing just fine on her own. See, that's the thing. A lot of people ask me about who I would love to write with or collaborate with or whatever. And if I'm a huge fan of somebody, most of the time it's because I love what they're doing, which means I don't think they need any help. Once in a while, I'll think of somebody and I'll go, I love what they do, and I think that I could actually contribute something, But in a lot of cases, these people are doing great. They don't need my help, and Lady Gaga is certainly one of them. Lisa Wallace, is Radar a Westie? No, Radar is a Cairn Terrier. He's, by my account, the cutest dog ever. But he's by far the cutest Cairn Terrier ever. And they're all pretty damn cute. But Radar is just the best dog. You know when you have those dogs, people have, sometimes you have a dog and it's just forget part of the family. This guy is just the greatest. He's 11 now, so I don't know how much longer he's got. He's in good health, but he's been an amazing dog. He's still like a puppy. He's just so cute. Jennifer, do you have a special routine to keep your voice so perfect? Well, my voice is a little ragged right now because I got up at 5:30 this morning, but some of you know about the brew. And the brew is the stuff that I sip before the show, during the show, and after the show. And it's lemon juice and ginger and honey and a lot of cayenne pepper. And you blend it together and you nuke it and you just sip it. You got to sip it, don't drink it, because it's also used as a cleanse. So you don't want that happening on stage. But it's the only thing that's ever been a vocal restoration method for me. I've tried throat coat tea and steam and all that. It doesn't. Nothing helped. I tried acupuncture a few times. Didn't help. The brew helps. So thank Sheila E. for the brew. Sheila E., the beautiful and talented Sheila E., turned me on to the brew, and I owe her big time. Diane Hurst, just got stories to tell, CD, and love it. Thank you. Do you help out around the house when you're home? I have a bet with my husband. You do. So that means you think I do. Well, define help around the house, Diane, because if you think I'm up on a ladder, well, no, I'll get up on a ladder and change light bulbs. I've done that. I take out the trash sometimes. You won't see me out with the weed whacker. That's not really technically around the house. I don't do any landscaping or outdoor stuff. I'm not handy around the house, if that's what you're asking. You're going to lose that bet. If you bet that I was handy around the house, I could lie, but then Cynthia would see this and go, huh? So no. I mean, I help a little bit, but I'm not really handy around the house. But I make up for it in other ways. Ricky Regard. I'm a little bit curious. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit curious. So here's the question. How old were you when you wrote your first song, and what's the song called? The first song I ever wrote was, I was 15, I'm guessing, maybe 14. And I wrote it for Lynn Harwich. Lynn Harwich was my first crush in kindergarten, and we went to school together all the way through high school. So I sort of had a varying degree crush on Lynn Harwich all through school. And we're still friends to this day, which is really, really cool. So I was in a huge madly back in love with Lynn phase. She never dated me, by the way. She never wanted to know. I was always her friend. But I was when I was 14 or 15, I was like mad for her again, and so I wrote a song for her, and I think it was called "I'm the One You Need" or some. Oh God, you'll never hear it unless some ex-friend of mine has an old demo of it and gets it out there, which would really not make me happy. Michelle Press. I'll do one more and then I'm going to sign off. Michelle Press. We all know how much you love your TV dramas. Do you have a favorite comedy show? My favorite comedy show. I like Modern Family. Sometimes more than other times. I like New Girl. It's been funny a few times. What else? I can't really call Louis a comedy show. Louis C.K.'s show is brilliant. And it's funny, but it's dark. So I can't really I guess it is a comedy show, but I love that show. I guess those are my favorites. I started watching Parks and Recreation again. Um, uh, and it's pretty funny. Chris Pratt, who's one of the stars of Parks and Recreation, if he's on the screen, I'm laughing. He is so freaking funny. So there you go. A few to check out. All right, guys. I'm gonna get some rest, and then I'm gonna play tonight. And I hope you guys are all good. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.